Ben Shephard has always had a way of lighting up the screen the moment he appears. It doesn't matter whether he's interviewing celebrities, anchoring a morning show, or teasing the audience with that signature half-smile. Ben brings a spark that feels both familiar and refreshing. For many viewers, he isn't just a presenter. He's part of their morning routine, their late-night wind-down, and the comforting voice in the background on days when the world feels a little too loud. So when his unexpected farewell was announced, millions weren't just surprised, they were stunned. From the very beginning, Ben's presence on television has carried something warm and inviting. There's an ease about him, a charm that feels natural, not forced. Sometimes funny, sometimes serious, always genuine. And that's exactly why this sudden shift felt like a shockwave across the ITV audience. When Ben stepped onto the screen to deliver his message, there was a noticeable softness in his expression. Not sad, not gloomy, just thoughtful, as if he had spent countless moments choosing how to say what he needed to say. The atmosphere wasn't dramatic, but it held a kind of quiet weight, like the calm before a change everyone secretly hoped wouldn't come. He greeted the audience with the same warm smile he's known for, the one that somehow manages to lift your mood even before he speaks. But this time his eyes carried something deeper, reflection, gratitude, maybe even a touch of vulnerability, and viewers instantly sensed that something meaningful was coming. Ben began speaking gently, the way he always does when he wants every word to matter. He talked about his journey, years of early mornings, unforgettable interviews, laughter shared with colleagues, and the countless moments that weren't scripted but somehow became fan favorites. He referred to the friendships built along the way, the inside jokes that never made it on camera, and the supportive team behind the scenes that helped shape every show into something special. Then, almost casually, he spoke the words nobody expected. He was stepping away. The reaction from fans was immediate and intense. Social media lit up like fireworks, shock, confusion, heartfelt messages, emotional comments. For many, it felt strange to imagine the show without him, like a favorite character suddenly taking a pause from the story. But Ben didn't share the news with heaviness. Instead, he filled it with humor, warmth, and even a sprinkle of playful teasing. At one point, he laughed about how the crew might finally get a break from his endless puns. At another, he jokingly wondered who would steal snacks from the backstage table now. Classic Ben. His lighthearted moments softened the emotional weight, reminding everyone why he was loved in the first place. And yet, underneath the jokes, there was sincerity. Ben talked openly about wanting to explore new opportunities, challenge himself in ways he hadn't before, and spend more time on things he had been putting off for years. It wasn't a dramatic ending, it was a turning point, a new chapter that he seemed genuinely excited about. He spoke with hope, not sadness, with gratitude, not regret. Even so, fans couldn't help feeling the emotion of it all, because goodbyes, especially from someone who has been part of your daily life for years, are never easy. He expressed deep appreciation for the viewers who tuned in day after day, year after year. He thanked them for the support, the laughs, and the moments when their kindness helped him through challenging times. He mentioned letters that brightened his mornings, messages that made him smile unexpectedly, and the unforgettable feeling of knowing he could make someone's day a little bit better. At one point, Ben even shared a humorous story about a fan who once told him he was too cheerful for mornings, which he found both absurd and hilarious. The memory made him chuckle again during his farewell, adding a layer of gentle humor to an emotional moment. What made his message so special wasn't the surprise or the sadness. It was the heart, the way he spoke with honesty, the way he allowed himself to slow down and simply be human, the way he looked into the camera not as a presenter performing a role, but as a person speaking from the heart. He didn't end his message abruptly. Instead, he took his time, reflecting on moments that shaped his experience. The laughter behind the scenes, the times he tried and failed to keep a straight face, and the unexpected chaos of live television, which he always managed to navigate with that signature Ben Shephard charm. He hinted at exciting projects ahead, new adventures he couldn't fully reveal yet but promised would be worth the wait. There was a spark in his eyes when he mentioned them, a spark that told viewers he wasn't stepping back, he was stepping forward. And just when the mood felt a bit too serious, Ben slipped in another funny remark, something about how he hoped his future colleagues were prepared for his legendary snack raids. Classic Ben. His farewell was emotional, yes, but it wasn't heavy. It wasn't heartbreaking in the tragic sense. Instead, it was heart-touching, hopeful, a warm goodbye to one chapter and a gentle invitation to follow him into the next. Viewers described the moment as bittersweet. Some felt teary-eyed. Others felt proud. Many felt grateful. As the clip of his announcement spread online, it was met with waves of supportive messages, kind words, and fans sharing their favorite memories. They talked about the moments he brightened their day with unexpected humor, the times he made heartfelt interviews even more meaningful, the times he comforted guests with compassion, and of course, the times he couldn't hold in his laughter, those priceless moments that went viral again and again. By the time his farewell message reached its final moments, Ben spoke with a calm, steady tone. He thanked everyone one more time, not as a presenter, but as a person who felt genuinely moved. He wished the audience happiness, success, and moments of laughter in their own lives. And he reminded them with a warm smile that this wasn't really goodbye, just a transition. When the camera captured his final smile, it wasn't sad. It was hopeful, gentle, filled with appreciation. The kind of smile that makes you feel like everything is going to be okay, even if things are changing. The audience may have been stunned, but they weren't left empty. Instead, they were left with a reminder. Some goodbyes aren't endings. They're beginnings wrapped in gratitude. And as viewers shared the emotional moment across social platforms, one thing became very clear. Wherever Ben Shephard goes next, his supporters will be right there with him. They'll follow the laughs, the warmth, the kindness, and the spark he carries so naturally. Because Ben isn't just a presenter you watch. He's someone you root for. His unexpected farewell may have surprised millions, but it also ignited excitement for his next chapter. A journey filled with new stories, new memories, and, knowing Ben, a whole lot of laughter. Before the screen fades away, one message lingers in the air. A quiet reminder that change isn't something to fear. Sometimes it's the doorway to something even more extraordinary. And Ben Shephard? He's just getting started.